Ladies and gents, welcome back. Justin Trudeau finally getting some pushback from global leaders for his actions against trucking protests in Canada. We have here from the Post Millennial, Finnish politician calls on EU to denounce Trudeau's crackdown on peaceful protesters. Also from True North, European politician condemns Trudeau's human rights violations against convoys. Now, I did look to see if CBC or City TV or CTV, any of these big Canadian conglomerate mainstream legacy media outlets are writing about the story. I couldn't find anything. So I'm reporting on this from, here's the True North's article. And again, I'll always leave in the description down below. I'll leave the links to these articles so you can read them for yourself. A Finnish politician is calling on the European Union to denounce Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's violent crackdown on peaceful trucker convoy protests in Ottawa. Member of European Parliament Laura Huhtasaari wrote to the Vice President of the European Commission and High Representative of the Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, demanding that the EU clarify where it stands on Trudeau's actions. On several occasions, the EU has condemned human rights violations in various countries, Huhtasaari wrote. Does the Commission or High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy intend to condemn the measures used by Canada against peaceful protests in the Canadian convoy demonstration? And what was the EU's position on the Canadian government's actions against peaceful protests? If you're not aware of what took place, there was a large protest in Ottawa where truckers came from all across the nation to gather in Ottawa in protest against mandates, the COVID-19 federal measures that are implemented against the citizens, and was not a democratic decision. It was just implemented without referendum or vote. Huhtasaari's question for written answer also addressed the fact that in 2020, Trudeau had publicly endorsed similar demonstrations by farmers in Delhi, India, which earned him the Hour of India's foreign ministry. In quotes, Canada will always stand for the rights of peaceful protests anywhere in the world, and we are pleased to see moves towards de-escalation and dialogue, Trudeau said at the time. Interesting. De-escalation and dialogue. These are things that Trudeau aspires for in foreign countries, but not in Canada. Trudeau's double standards were not only noticed by Huhtasaari and European Parliament, but also prompted the head of foreign affairs for, sorry if I'm pronouncing this incorrect, Bharatiya Janata Party, one of India's two largest political bodies, to call out Trudeau on Twitter over his invocation of the Emergencies Act, which had never previously been invoked since it was changed from the War Measures Act in 1988, I believe. And this was Justin Trudeau when there were the streets in the protests in India. Canada, oh, here's the tweet that he put out himself. And this was Justin Trudeau when there were street protests in India. Canada will always be there to defend the rights of peaceful protesters. Trudeau vows to freeze anti-mandate protesters' bank accounts. The double standard that is apparent here. After using the act to assume emergency powers, the Trudeau government ordered a militarized police operation in Canada's capital to clear the downtown core of demonstrators. A joint force of municipal, provincial, and federal police arrested hundreds, and some bystanders were even trampled by riot horses. And you can see the coverage of that on previous videos that I have on this channel. If you're new to the channel, please go check those out. The Emergencies Act also gave federal government powers to have the assets of truckers frozen, including cryptocurrency wallets. Canada has decided, inter alia, which just is fancy speak for in other terms, to freeze the bank accounts of persons taking part in the demonstration, and has threatened to arrest peaceful demonstrators, Huhtasaari wrote. In other European politicians, including Romanian MP Christian Terres and UK MP Marcus Fish, also blasted Trudeau for his authoritarian tactics. So this is the double standard, folks, that Justin Trudeau has for other countries and their democratic means of disagreeing or protesting against government measures or policy decisions. Democracy for thee, not for me, as we see with Justin Trudeau's actual implementation of how he sees us plebs. let's just put that bluntly. Us plebeians out there in the world that actually have lives and actually want to get on with our lives. Yes. I want to thank you for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Every Friday we do a live stream. We'll be doing that this evening at 6:30 Pacific time. Check your local listings, and we'll see you then. Keep on trucking.